When you reach your 70s, the world starts to look a little different. We've spent a lifetime giving love and support to our families. But as our children become busy with their own lives, we may find ourselves wondering where our support will come from. It's a hard truth, but we may not always be able to rely on our family. While their love is precious, their time and energy are often limited. Instead of depending on others, we need to shift our focus and build our own foundation of support. The most reliable pillars aren't outside of us. They're within our own power to create. By building these 5 pillars, we can find peace and security. And then the love from our family becomes a beautiful bonus rather than a lifeline. Let's explore these 5 pillars, starting with the one that holds everything else up. Pillar 1. Health above all. At 70 and beyond, your body becomes your truest companion. You can have wealth, children, even the admiration of others. But without health, everything else loses its shine. Health is what lets you get up in the morning without pain. Is what lets you walk outside to feel the sun, to hear the birds, to meet friends. It is what keeps you independent, so you don't have to wait for someone to bathe you, feed you, or carry you from one place to another. Many people realize this truth only when it's too late, when their body has already broken down from years of neglect. But if you're listening now, it's not too late. Taking care of your health after 70 is not about chasing youth. It's about protecting dignity. Every glass of water you drink, every stretch you do in the morning, every choice to eat simply but cleanly, that is an act of self-respect. You are telling your body, I will take care of you, because you are the only home I have. Of course, the body slows with age. Joints ache, energy dips, memory sometimes falters. But health is not perfection. Health is stability. It's about doing what you can consistently. Gentle exercise instead of long hours of sitting. Deep breathing to calm the heart. Regular checkups to catch problems early. And perhaps most importantly, learning to listen. When your body whispers, I am tired, don't wait for it to scream. Rest. Adjust. Respect the signals. The beauty of prioritizing health is that it gives freedom. When you can take care of yourself, you don't need to burden your children with constant worry. When you can move, when you can think clearly, when you can manage daily life, that is worth more than any inheritance you could leave behind. You give your family peace of mind, and you give yourself pride. So remember, your strongest support is not your son's bank account or your daughter's schedule. It is your own heartbeat, your own strength. Guard it with care, because everything else depends on it. Pillar 2. Financial stability. The second pillar may feel uncomfortable to speak about, but it is essential. Money. We don't like to admit how powerful it is, but financial stability at 70 is like a shield. It protects dignity. It gives choices. It prevents dependence. Think about it. When you have even a modest savings, a pension, or a small steady income, you do not have to ask anyone for permission. You can buy your own medicine without waiting for a child to transfer money. You can treat yourself to a warm meal or a small trip without feeling guilty. You can make decisions based on what you want, not on what others can afford to give you. Money at this stage of life is not about luxury. It is about security. It is about not being forced into situations that humiliate or restrict you. Too many elders end up feeling like a burden because they rely completely on their children. And even when children are willing, that dependency creates tension. It silently eats away at self-respect. That is why financial independence, even partial, is one of the most powerful supports you can build. If you still have opportunities to manage or grow your resources, do it wisely. Live simply. Avoid unnecessary debt. Don't chase after risky ventures. At 70, stability matters more than excitement. It is better to have enough to sleep peacefully than to gamble for more and live in fear of loss. And if your resources are limited, don't lose heart. Stability doesn't always mean wealth. It means learning to live within your means, prioritizing needs over wants, and finding joy in simplicity. Sometimes, less financial stress comes not from more income, but from reducing the weight of expenses. The truth is, money gives you the ability to say no. No to becoming a burden. No to situations where you feel trapped. No to living by someone else's rules. With financial stability, you are not waiting at the mercy of others. You can walk with your head high, knowing you are standing on your own feet. And when you don't need to cling to your children for support, something magical happens. Love between you and them becomes lighter, purer. They visit because they want to, not because they must. They give because it is from the heart, not because it is demanded. And that, my friends, is the sweetest kind of relationship to have in the later years of life. Pillar 3. True friendships. When we are young, friendships often form quickly, sometimes around shared schools, workplaces, or social gatherings. But as we grow older, many of those bonds fade. People move, lives change, and friends we once saw every day become distant memories. By 70, the number of true friends may be fewer, but their value is beyond measure. A true friend at this stage of life is not someone who counts your possessions, but someone who counts your joys and sorrows as their own. It is someone who listens without rushing, who understands without judgment, who makes you laugh when life feels heavy. A friend is the one who shows up, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care. The presence of such friendships can ease loneliness in ways that families sometimes cannot. Children may love us, but they may not always have the time to sit for hours, to share memories, or to simply enjoy silence together. A friend, however, walks alongside us at the same pace. They are in the same stage of life, facing the same aches, the same reflections, the same search for peace. Friendship at 70 is not about numbers. It is about quality. Even one or two genuine friends can change everything. They remind us that we are not alone in our journey. They give us a reason to step outside, to stay engaged, to keep the heart open. But friendships do not grow by accident. They must be nurtured. Call the friend you haven't spoken to in months. Invite someone for tea, even if your home is simple. Be willing to listen, not only to talk. At this stage, friendship is less about entertainment and more about presence. Just being there for each other is enough. So do not underestimate this pillar. When family is busy, when the house feels quiet, when the night feels long, a true friend can be the hand that steadies you. Pillar 4. Personal faith or inner peace. The fourth pillar is not always visible, but it may be the strongest of all. Faith or a deep inner peace. Life after 70 inevitably brings moments of loss, change, and uncertainty. Friends pass away, health shifts, the world feels faster than we can keep up with. In those moments, no amount of money or physical strength can fully calm the heart. What we need then is an anchor, a steady place for the spirit to rest. For some, that anchor is religious faith. Belief in God, in a higher power, or in spiritual teachings can provide comfort that nothing else can. It brings the assurance that life has meaning, that suffering is not wasted, that love continues beyond what we can see. Faith gives hope when circumstances feel hopeless. For others, the anchor may not be tied to religion, but to inner peace. Practices like meditation, breathing, or simply cultivating gratitude each day. Learning to quiet the mind, to accept what we cannot control, to let go of bitterness. This is also faith, faith in the wisdom of life itself. Whatever form it takes, the result is the same, a heart that is calmer, softer, more resilient. With faith or inner peace, loneliness does not crush you. Pain does not define you. Fear does not control you. You find strength not in others, but in yourself and in something greater than yourself. And this pillar is deeply personal. No one can build it for you. Children cannot hand it to you. It must be sought, practiced, and embraced from within. But once it is yours, it becomes a source of comfort that never leaves, no matter where you are. Pillar 5. Self-reliance and adaptability. The final pillar is the one that ties everything together. The ability to rely on yourself and adapt gracefully to change. At 70, life rarely goes exactly as planned. Children may move abroad. Health may change suddenly. Friends may drift away. Technology may feel overwhelming. If we cling too tightly to how things used to be, we suffer. But if we learn to adapt, to bend without breaking, we continue to grow even in our later years. Self-reliance does not mean doing everything alone. It means trusting that you can handle life, that you are capable, that you can figure things out when circumstances shift. It means continuing to learn, whether that's how to use a phone to connect with loved ones, how to cook a new dish, or how to care for yourself in ways you never had to before. Adaptability is what allows you to keep smiling even when the world feels different. It is saying, yes, things are not the same as they were, but I will find a way to live fully in this season. It is refusing to become bitter about what you have lost, and instead finding joy in what you still have. When you are self-reliant and adaptable, you no longer live in constant fear of being abandoned. You know you can stand, even if the people around you cannot always be there. You know you can adjust, even when life throws surprises your way. And that knowledge brings incredible peace. So let us return to where we began. Family is love. Family is precious. But family alone cannot carry us after 70. If we put all our weight on them, we risk disappointment, resentment, even heartbreak. Instead, let us build these 5 pillars. Health to keep us strong, financial stability to keep us independent, true friendships to keep us connected, faith or inner peace to keep us calm, and self-reliance to keep us adaptable. With these in place, we no longer wait desperately for others to save us. We walk steadily on our own path. And when family love comes, it comes as a gift, not an obligation. That is when love feels light, joyful, and free. So dear friend, as you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, which pillar is strong and which needs your care? Begin today even with small steps. For the pillars you build now will hold you not only through your 70s, but through all the days you are blessed to live.